anything where you just need to take that pause and breathe. So when we breathe in, we'll take our hands up. When you breathe out, you take them to center. And then you breathe in again, take your hands out this way. And then breathe out, take them center. So I would like for us to do this 3 times. And I really want you to think about centering yourself in this moment, letting go of anything that may be going on in your life right now, and just being together in this space. So you can close your eyes if you're comfortable, and we'll start. Breathing up. Exhale, center. Breathing out. Exhale, center. Breathing up. Exhale, center. Breathing out. Exhale, center. Last time. Breathing up. Exhale, center. Breathing out. Exhale, center. And I'd like you to just sit in this moment. How did that make you feel? Keep in touch with yourself, keep in touch with your body. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Thank you for participating in that. So I am going to share my story with all of you today. I'm going to share my story with all of you today. So I think the past couple of years have really started my journey in interrupting the cycle of historical and intergenerational trauma within my family. And I would like to share this piece with you. So there's a line that goes, trauma is an injustice to the body and the mind, and everyone will breathe in, breathe out, and say together, but we can heal. Can we try that one time? Trauma is an injustice to the body and the mind, but we can heal. Thank you. I'll tell you the story of a young black boy who was forced to become a man. His father worked himself to the bone and would make you laugh until you held your belly for breath when he was sober. But it was like he was a different person when the booze took over. Drop by drop, it numbed the pain, but it was only a quick fix, a band-aid rip. He sees his father push his mother out the window. Her bones are broken and she weeps, for she might as well be a widow. Rip. He holds his little brother and sister close to his chest in the closet that they've been sleeping in for the last few months. He wonders when salvation will come. Rip. His father couldn't take it, and now he's gone, and mother's been bringing strange men home just to hold on. Rip. Traumas and injustice to the body and the mind. But we can heal. He was placed into foster care along with his siblings while his mother was in treatment for bipolar disorder. And eventually traveling the country, searching for what he didn't know. All he knew is he wanted his mama to come home. No matter where they were placed, Those who were meant to love them somehow fashioned the word love into a weapon that would choke them into a silence that would drag on and on and on. His little brother took to the streets, selling drugs to survive and stacked warrants like he stacked dollar bills. He almost followed him on this path, but he realized after he watched from the back of a squad car as his baby brother was run down and slammed face first on the hood that a life in bondage was no life at all. He was separated from his siblings and lived with a family in a small town. They were kind and wanted to build him up instead of breaking him down. He ran track in school, got good grades and made lasting friends, but he couldn't help but notice how white eyes would eye his black skin with suspicion under a lens. At the age of 16, he spread his mother's ashes as the wind carried her body back to the earth, and she set upon her final journey. He didn't even say goodbye, his mind was burning. It was then his pain transformed into a rage that couldn't be suppressed any longer, flipping desks, cussing out anyone who would dare to fucking look at him and breaking his knuckles bloody when punching through the walls that he had not realized had been built around his heart. They thickened. They thickened with time as he became a father. When his hand raised in anger to his daughter, I used to ask, why? But now I know trauma that is not transformed is transferred. It was transferred to me before I could even count 1, 2, 3. The hand that struck me struck my father, and his 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 father, going all the way back to the lash that beat a false name into my ancestor. His slave name was Jabez, but that is not the name to which he answers. However, that's the only name I know because they tried to strip him and my peoples of our being from the get-go. He was stolen from Nigeria and forced on a plantation in Alabama. He was a strong warrior, but the colonizers called him buck or stud and bred him like cattle. To make stronger slaves that would work until their fingers bled all the way until the grave, my ancestor escaped. And I am here. His resiliency manifested into legacy, for my very existence is a resistance. Trauma is an injustice to the body and the mind, but we can heal. We carry the wounds of our grandmothers and grandfathers, not always visible to the eye, but deep enough to change the very structure of our DNA. Why? Why do we still shed tears that spilled 400, 500, 600 years ago? We've inherited our ancestors' dreams and their nightmares. There's a struggle for balance in my being, a blockage in my flow. Yet when I feel the heartbeat of the djembe drum, the river in me cannot be blocked, and my body speaks a language that cannot be written. When I hear the songs of my people, I cannot help but weep because I am understood. Heke halelela lungo motswane. Heke halelela kutwango motswane. I stood in front of the mirror the other night, braiding my hair. Ancient hands guided my fingers through every lock and curl, weaving unconditional love and coconut oil through each strand. I heard the joy and the wisdom of the old ones. Their laughter filled my spirit. It felt like home. I hear the land speak, and it says we are water. Of our Mother Earth, I am of you, and you are of me. Remember that you are water. Cry, cleanse, flow, let go. Remember that you are fire. Move, adapt, burn, ignite. Remember that you are wind. Breathe, sing, listen, decide. Remember that you are earth. Ground, build, produce, give. But most importantly, remember that you are spirit. Connect, be present, seek, listen. I've been taught many things in this life, and I have had many questions. But above all, I have asked myself, what kind of ancestor do I want to be? All of us in this room will become ancestors one day. Undoing the cycle of trauma in this lifetime, decolonizing our minds, our bodies, and the land is not only for ourselves, but it is also our greatest duty in honor of our ancestors and in service of the future generations. I ask you now, what kind of ancestor do you want to be? Traumas and injustice to the body and the mind. But we can heal. Ashe.